time knowing if you're hearing me. Everybody in the back, can you hear me? All right, excellent. Well, it's wonderful to be here. We've got a beautiful day to do this, and it's a wonderful crowd. I want to share a few thoughts with everyone here about generosity. That's my role here. And again, Lyle, thank you. It's very nice to be here. My wife Susan and I have long been involved and have admired the great work of the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation. Its mission is near and dear to our hearts. We believe the foundation helps create the quality of life we all enjoy here in the Duluth Superior area. Even though most of us in this room are not direct recipients of the foundation's assistance, we are all beneficiaries of its good work. Indeed, we live and work in a very special place. We have a close-knit community where we know and care about one another. Many of us are able to enjoy wildlife right outside our back door. And most of us see the greatest Great Lake of them all every day. We also can take in a ballet, catch a hockey game, or visit a museum within a short drive of our home. But the quality of life doesn't just happen. It's made possible by people. People who care about their families, people who care about their friends, and people who care about their community in general. And they show their generosity by contributing both time and money to make it an even better place. This generosity and quality of life doesn't just exist everywhere. In fact, a major university recently awarded a $1.4 million study on generosity. What drives people to be generous? What keeps them that way? How do families and religious traditions play a role in generosity? And what do people get out of being generous? One researcher will explore how generosity spreads and creates, quote, cascades of generosity, unquote. That's the term that caught me, cascades of generosity. Think for a moment what cascades of generosity might look like. For me, it's incredibly visual and uplifting. Each and every one of us could start our own cascade. Imagine how it could multiply. Businesses could participate and engage their employees. Bridge clubs could chip in. Softball teams could rally for a good cause. Youth groups could help clean up the local park, and retirees could read to school children. In fact, someone could tweet or text a way to contribute. And just like an old-fashioned chain letter, we could reach more people than we ever could reach with just a single voice. Or what better way to start the cascade than with your own family? Susan and I believe in setting the right example and engaging our children in giving back to the community, a family value that goes back generations. Our son Matthew is an Eagle Scout who has devoted much of his time to local organizations, and our daughter Hillary volunteers at a local hospice. We involve them in family giving decisions so that they feel a part of the process, the positive feeling it brings, and the good it can help create in our community. In some way, shape, or form, all of us could set an example of generosity. Think of how good it can feel to benefit from even the smallest generosity. Your next-door neighbor dropped in with a hot dish when your child was in the hospital. Your brother shoveled your driveway when you broke your leg. The driver let you in traffic when no one else would give you the time of day. These are just small acts of generosity, but they make a difference in your day and the life at that time. Just think then how it must feel to benefit from even larger acts of generosity, such as those made possible by all of our gifts to the foundation. The appreciation is strikingly clear in some of the thank you notes the foundation has received this past year. A recipient of one of the foundation's scholarships wrote, quote, "Thank you so very much for your generosity. Helping me right now has done more than you will ever know. Your gift will keep on giving once I'm able to make a positive impact on healthcare and give back to others like you've done for me. Thank you," unquote. The foundation's scholarship to that one individual has started a cascade of generosity, and that individual promises to give back. Do people have to be the recipient of generosity to be generous? I offer this fable for food for thought. A wise woman was traveling in the mountains and found an extremely precious stone in a stream. The next day, she met another traveler who was hungry, and the wise woman opened her bag to share the food. The hungry traveler saw the precious stone in her bag and asked the woman if he could have it. Without hesitation, she gave him the precious stone. The traveler left, rejoicing in his good fortune. He knew the stone was worth enough to give him financial security for a lifetime. But a few days later, he came back to return the stone to the wise woman. "I've been thinking," he said. "I know how valuable the stone is, but I give it back to you in hope that you'll give me something even more precious. Give me what you have within you that enabled you to give me the stone." Not everyone has a giving mindset or a giving heart, but as this traveler realized, that can be even more precious than gold. For that, you have it and have a cascading effect. A 2009 study called "Philanthropy in a Turbulent Economy" reported that 43% of the people surveyed said that they would give to a charity they had not given to in the past if someone they knew asked them to give. Have you asked someone to give? Do people only give when they're asked? Why do they give? How do we inspire others to give? That's the key, isn't it? Some people say they don't give because they can't contribute all that much, and it just wouldn't make a difference. Here's one example that dispels that myth. A private liberal college in southern Minnesota did a calculation about alumni giving. The college reported that if every alumnus who did not support the college's annual fund the prior year just gave $25 that year, that would bring in an additional $425,000 for the college's use for scholarships. It is a great example of how, by coming together, we can create a greater whole, no matter what our economic status. As I write in the Foundation's annual report, without generosity, we lose our sense of community, of everyone coming together to make this an even better place. If you think about it, it doesn't do any good to just have a good pitcher on a baseball team and not have any players who can hit. It's just not a well-balanced team. To put up a winning record, everyone needs to bring something to the table. It's that way with the community too. When everybody participates and is generous in spirit, the spirit of community is alive and well, and everyone is a winner. The whole is better for it. One of the reasons Susan and I chose to give to the Community Foundation is that it funds such a variety of organizations that form the greater whole. We also value the foundation as extremely well managed and has been nationally recognized for its efforts. That gives us added confidence that our funds and volunteer time are being put to good use and properly leveraged for the greatest possible impact. The foundation provides excellent documentation of how the funds are used. The foundation also has an endowment, which provides financial stability and ensures long-term viability. By contributing to the endowment, we can leverage today's gifts for tomorrow. Not all organizations have endowments, so we are fortunate our foundation has seen the wisdom to plan for the future. It is clear then that the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation, we have an organization in place to make positive things happen in our area. And it has been doing so for 30 years. But the foundation is really all of us, people from all walks of life and from all different generations. From the greatest generation to the baby boomers, to the Gen Xers, to the millennials, our collaborative volunteer time and financial contributions make the foundation work possible. We hear a lot these days about how various generations are different than each other. Their work ethic, their parenting styles, even their philanthropic giving. What I find interesting, however, is that across the generations, we have a propensity to connect with others. For the greatest generation, that often came through membership in lodges or clubs. For the millennials, it's through MySpace and Facebook on the internet. The methods are different, but the need for connecting with others and sharing common experiences remains essential to the human experience. It is through these connections that we bond and create an even better community. And it is through our connection to our hearts that we can each begin a cascade of generosity. Please join us and generously include the Community Foundation in your giving plans. Thank you for having me.